everyone, it's Lindsay from LTYG. If you have been a follower of LTYG for a while, you're probably familiar with the elemental diet, what the elemental diet is and how it can be used to promote that gut healing. And if you are new to us, welcome. Now, don't forget to download Jeannie's ebook, What You Need to Know About Elemental Diets, in which Jeannie talks all about the elemental diet, you know, how an elemental diet can help you, how it's best to use to facilitate that gut healing, and so much more. So you can actually download a free copy in the link that I have in the video description below for you. So today I wanted to talk to you about the powerful combination of the elemental diet with a bone broth protocol. Both of these have tremendous health benefits, but when they are used together, they hit all of the angles that are needed when you are trying to heal your gut. So this is actually really exciting and a very informative video that I've created for today. So in her book, Jeannie's book, The IBD Remission Diet, which I will link below, Jeannie strongly advocates that you actually drink bone or meat and vegetable broths in between Absorb Plus shakes on the diet. So if you are unaware of that, this is going to be some great information. Not only is this because of the amazing health benefits of the homemade broths, but it also serves to actually stimulate appetite, and I'm going to share a lot more tips with you today. So, you know, if you are just consuming sweet tastes all the time, such as with, you know, especially some of the flavors with the Absorb Plus shakes, you're going to get tired of that really fast. And if that's already happened to you, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, she really recommends that you alternate between that sweet and salty, which would be the Absorb Plus shakes being the sweet and the bone meat veggie broths, you know, being the salty. So this keeps your appetite actually stimulated, and it makes it much easier to consume all of the daily calories that you need from, you know, the Absorb Plus Elemental Diet shakes. You know, I personally love the bone and veggie broths, and it really helped me again to switch between that sweet and salty. So again, it's not just the taste, but it's actually helping with your appetite and getting those calories in. So it's just kind of a twofold. It's like a great combination. And like I said, it helped me a lot. Now, broths are beneficial for a couple different reasons that I will mention. So just again, speaking broths alone right now, the gelatin and the collagen it contains actually helps with leaky gut because it is repairing that intestinal wall. So you have that. It increases appetite, as we kind of discussed a little bit. It actually prepares your body and your system for digestion. Really fascinating point. And then, you know, it contains many amino acids. It contains glycine, which is a great antioxidant. It lowers inflammation. So now we're at like 6 different points, right? And it increases detoxification in the body. Another amazing point. So, you know, so many different things, but one that I'll focus a little bit more on right now is glycine. Glycine actually encourages production of glutathione in the body, which if you're not familiar with glutathione, it is a powerful antioxidant. And it's generally reused and recycled in our bodies. But, you know, if there's poor appetite, or I'm sorry, poor diet, you know, or other health conditions are going on, it can become, very scarce glutathione. Our levels can be extremely low or not there at all, so depleted. And so then our bodies can't detoxify properly. And you guys know that detoxing was, a big issue for me, and it's something that we definitely need with what we're trying to achieve with our goals. So by supplementing your diet with bone broth while simultaneously ridding your body of foods that could create this inflammation, you're giving glutathione the best possible environment to thrive and just do its magic. I also want to highlight an article written by Sally Fallon called Broth is Beautiful. Which I have linked in the description below for you, so you can read it yourself and check it out. In it, Sally kind of delves into the rich history of gelatin, which has been used throughout history as a therapeutic agent, and how it has been useful actually in helping with peptic ulcers, tuberculosis, diabetes, muscle diseases, infectious diseases, jaundice, and even cancer. So she even talks about how babies had fewer digestive problems when gelatin was added to their milk. Because gelatin, again, attracts and holds liquids. So it helps with digestion by actually attracting those digestive juices to food in the gut, which is just fascinating. So, besides all of its various health benefits, it's also brilliant that Jeannie recommends doing the broths with these shakes and within her IBD remission protocol, because bone broth prepares for digestion. So your gut and your body are now actually prepped for those shakes that you are going to be consumed, so that you can actually absorb them and get all of the benefits and the nutrients, which is why they were created in the first place. And so that's actually why I always consume bone broth before a meal. This is a great tip, you guys. So make sure you give it a shot. Even to this day, I actually consume, even if it's just I don't have time and I just need just a little bit of bone broth before a meal helps facilitate better digestion. And on the flip side, sometimes it would actually stimulate so much of an appetite with me. I would kind of be ravenously hungry all day. On occasion, this would happen. And so this is personally what I experienced. But again, if I was eating it before a meal or a shake, that helped negate kind of that ravenous hunger. I'm just mentioning that to you in case that happens to you as well. I just wanted to throw that out there. So now let's talk a little bit about the elemental diet, since we've already covered the benefits of bone broth. So Jeannie likens the elemental diet actually to breast milk in her video on how and when to use an elemental diet for bowel rest. And I'll go ahead and link that as well in the video description below for anyone who's interested in watching that. So similar to when I have mentioned in my videos that when you're in a flare or you're having digestive problems, you want to take your food back to basics, or to that baby food and texture, so that it's easy to digest. Having an elemental diet that kind of takes you back to that breast milk formula, because that way it is helping to heal your entire GI tract without solid foods, again, passing through it, which could cause tears or ulcerations or other things, since we're having inflammation in that area. Now, the benefits that I have received from using an elemental diet is that obviously it provided the bowel rest for my whole GI tract, so that allowed me to heal. It provided me the calories that I needed without, again, any digestion required, because I'm not consuming solid foods. I actually use it to gain weight. because I lost a lot of weight in addition to blood and other things, if you're familiar with my story. But actually, other people have used it to lose weight too. And then finally, it's a really great healthy replacement meal, when and as needed. To read more on the benefits of the elemental diet, check out Jeannie's book, The IBD Remission Diet. And you can actually download chapter 1 for free at the link that I've included in the video description below for you as well. The the IBD remission diet, is then a specialized combination of an elemental liquid diet with bone and veggie broths, along with the tried and tested natural remedies proven to heal the symptoms of inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD. So now let's chat a little bit about bone broths and Absorb Plus shakes and how they are this ultimate duo. So we've talked about the benefits of both of them, but now let's see how they can work together. So both of the amino acids present in the broths and the Absorb Plus shakes are just fabulous. And all of those help with mucosal integrity, as well as they actually build up the beneficial microorganisms and their growth in the intestine. So that is like amazing if you sit and you think about it, because obviously that's what we want. So take, for example, just one of the amino acids that Jeannie has in her Absorb Plus shake, which would be L-glutamine. So this is just one example. Now, L-glutamine is responsible for repairing intestinal lining, and then bone broth helps with inflammation. So, you could see if you have like a bleeding ulcer or a stricture, how taking both of those would be beneficial, because again, it's hitting it from two different sides, which is what we want for the quickest results. So, now that we've kind of talked about the powerful combo of these shakes and the bone broths, and how and when used together, they could actually, promote intestinal or gut healing, stimulate appetite, and prep the body for digestion. I'd like to give you an example of, a elemental diet routine, just so that you could get a better idea of what you could do if you choose to implement these healing modalities. So in the elemental diet program, Jeannie recommends, a minimum of 4 to 5 shakes per day for those with severe IBD. Now, again, it does just, and that's kind of to help them with their nutritional goals. But again, this is just a recommendation. That's what's so nice about LTYG and the suggestions that we offer, because everybody's body is so different. One person may need less and one person may need more, or vice versa. It could be many different things. So, when you begin trying this diet though, however, we do recommend that you start with less and just work your way up, just to ensure tolerance, and that everything's fine from that aspect. So here's kind of a general idea of my schedule for the times that I've been on an elemental diet. Again, take this into consideration. Everyone is different. And also, even just for myself, some days I actually needed a lot more calories, and some days I just didn't. So it just kind of depended on how I was feeling and what was going on that day with what my body needed. And then I either added or I subtracted, shakes, depending on a lot of these factors. So an elemental diet routine example would be, you would wake up in the morning on an empty stomach, you would take the Natren powdered probiotics, and then mix them with a little water and drink them down, again with empty stomach. Now, if you are taking though the Healthy Trinity, which is in a capsule, that one you want and should really be taking with food. So then you would take that with a meal. So only the powdered probiotics, you would take on an empty stomach. Then you would continue to the shake. And then with the shake, you would be adding, any additional supplements that you would need to take for that day. Then usually, kind of before lunch, a little bit, maybe an hour or two later, I would take some bone broth. And it would stimulate my appetite, preparing me for lunch, where I would have another shake. Then I would have bone broth again as a late, kind of afternoon snack if I really felt starving. Some days when I was healing, I felt starving. Some days not too much appetite. And then I would wait a little bit, and then I would have my probiotics again. So this is 2 times a day taking these probiotics. So same thing, if it's the powdered probiotics, mix it together with water, chug it down. If I was taking the capsule, I would wait to have that with my Absorb Plus shake, which again would be for my meal for dinner time. I would then repeat this process of the bone broth shake again, later in late evening or whatever, if I was still hungry or, felt starving. Now, Jeannie recommends, to take probiotics or a probiotic dose at bedtime, so that all the microorganisms can go in there if you tolerate that. So, if that's the case, you could do a 3 times a day probiotic with this just suggestion that I mentioned to you by taking that 3rd dose at bedtime. Or if that's too much or you can't tolerate it or whatever, you could skip one of the doses during the day and then just take one at bedtime, or whatever works for you. Again, this is just a very general idea, but again, just to get kind of your wheels turning and see what works for you. So have fun kind of playing around with the schedule, see what works for you. We also have a few blog posts and videos on navigating a confusing supplement schedule, which are all really fantastic to help with the overwhelm that you may feel about how to have a schedule. And, I will go ahead and also link all of those in the video description for you as well. Thank you for joining me today. If you have found any of the information I've shared with you guys today helpful, please hit that thumbs up button and like this video. If you are currently on an elemental diet, I hope today's video has inspired you to add these broths as a part of your healing regimen or protocol. And if you're not on an elemental diet, these broths are still fantastic, and they're so versatile because they can be used, and they are great for stews, soups, with rice, with pasta. There's so many different things that you could do to include this, as they just have great health benefits in general. And you can actually grab Jeannie's healing broth recipe ebook for free in the video description below, and begin incorporating these healing broths today in your health and your journey, wherever you are at and wherever you're going. As promised, everything that I have mentioned in today's video, which we covered a lot, can be found in the video description below. And if you have any questions, please drop a comment and let me know. I always love hearing questions from you all of the readers, and you have actually provided me with some great topics so far that people are loving. So a big thanks to you as well. Until next time, everybody, happy healing, and remember, always listen to your gut.